Wow.
Who doesn't want to be able to take their kids out for a 4-course meal, 3 hours long, and everybody enjoy it and have a good time?
That is amazing.
Yeah. Hey guys, thanks for clicking on this video. If you guys saw a video that we posted a few weeks ago, it was our Mother's Day vlog. We got a lot of questions on there. People asking how we got our kids to behave appropriately while sitting through a 4-course fancy dinner that took 3 hours. And not only sit through it, but they enjoyed it and we enjoyed it too. Please keep in mind that our daughter is currently 4 years old and our son is 13, and he's been diagnosed with autism, dyslexia, and ADHD. And it honestly breaks my heart to hear other moms or parents say like, oh yeah, I would love to go to dinner with you, but there's no way my kids could behave to sit through a dinner out. And living your life based out of fear of your child's behavior is no way to live, guys. I don't know how people can live a fulfilling life in fear of not being able to do something because of how their kid might behave. If my kids can sit through a 3-hour dinner and behave, your kids can go out to eat and sit through a 45-minute dinner. All you need is the proper tools to be able to teach them. So here it is, guys, our 10 best tips for teaching your kids dinner etiquettes and how to go out to dinner with the entire family and actually enjoy yourselves. I'm just going to jump right in with tip number 1. No electronics at the table, especially when you're eating out. This is about learning to actually enjoy your food, being able to interact and connect with your friends and family, and being able to make those connections. This not only helps learn better communication skills, but it also helps teach self-control and patience. It's actually kind of disrespectful to sit there and just play on your phone and scroll or a tablet and not actually pay attention to the people that are around you. So it's important to be able to teach the kids how to be courteous to those around them. And yes, when our kids were little and we would go out to eat, friends, family, people immediately, when we sat down, would hand our kids their phones and pull up apps and stuff on them. At that point, it's vital to immediately remove the electronic device from your child and politely hand it back to the person and say something along the lines of, thank you, but our child isn't allowed to use electronics at the table. Yes, you might get a couple of weird looks and confusion, but it's more important for what your child learns than to somebody else being confused by your family's decision. And I have lots of clips in here that actually demonstrate what our kids do when we go out to eat. So if you're wondering about that, here it is. We went to the melting pot, and if you're unfamiliar with it, it's like a 4-course meal. It's phenomenal, like amazing food, like the best food, but it is very long. It takes a very long time to eat. Our dinner was 3 hours.
Yeah.
3 whole hours. It was the 4 of us that went. Alan, myself, and both the kids, which the kids were great.
They did a great job.
Yeah.
Surprisingly. Yeah, that was my fear. Because it's a more upscale, nice...
Yeah, it's a nice restaurant.
Yeah.
But, you know, the kids did great.
Great job.
Tip number 2, let your child order their own food. Even if the server can't understand them and you have to repeat what they say afterwards, it's important to help develop that independence, and it's a good practice for them when they get older.
This is the
Mother's Day.
364 days.
Tomorrow is Mother's Day. Let's use our inside voice. Okay, did you see what just happened there? Tip number 3 is you're going to need to use friendly reminders to use an inside voice. Olivia got really excited there and she started speaking loudly, and I just gave her a friendly reminder to use her inside voices. And yes, I had to do that, I think 2 or 3 times throughout the entire meal, but for 3 hours for a 4-year-old, I think that's pretty good. Now, if you guys notice, oh, it's starting to go. You hear it?
Oh.
So if you guys look inside, you guys have, look, some pokers. Open it up. Now remember, what do we do with our napkins?
Put them on their lap.
Very good, we put them on our lap, you're right.
Why do we have pokers?
So tip number 4 is remember to explain the table manners and set clear expectations. This isn't something kids are instinctively born with. It's something that has to be taught. This is how they learn what utensils to use, what they're for, why they have so many forks, and how to handle their napkin. As a parent, it is your responsibility to educate your child about proper table manners and etiquettes. So you take the poker, you pick out whatever you want right here, you poke it with your little stick, and then you dip it in the cheese, like so, twist it around, kind of top it off on it, and then put it on your plate and eat it. Oh yeah, you can't have that, but you can have any of these, and you can use your poker to get it. And then you use your fork to actually eat it, okay? All right.
It's in your napkins first. And then dip it.
It helps if you twirl.
Twirl it. Let's put it on your plate here. And take one of your forks. Make your life easier. Scoot it off.
Tip number 5 is appropriate conversation. It's important for kids to understand from a young age that there are certain topics that are not really considered appropriate while at the dinner table, and they need to understand what those are so they can avoid them. Discussing the food that you're having is a great conversation starter and always an appropriate go-to. How is Olivia? Good. All right, Jesse, how's yours?
I haven't tried it yet. That's good.
Good?
That's some good cheese.
Mm-hmm.
That's so good.
Yeah, it's good.
Really good, Olivia. Good.
Don't put your phone down.
I won't, sweetie.
Are you
Get Jesse.
Ooh.
Happy Mother's Day.
While I'm cooking,
While you're cooking.
I'm cooking my Mother's Day meal.
Yeah. I brought you out to a restaurant just to have you cook.
I know.
You're welcome.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Tip number 6. Make sure your kids are aware of what they're doing. We all have those moments where we don't even realize what we're doing, so a quick reminder can help make us aware of our actions. That's right, Jesse, stare him down.
I'm just eating. You act like I don't eat meat or anything. Good. That is good.
Good job! You do that so well. Tip number 7, encourage appropriate entertainment. Coloring is a great activity, especially when you're waiting on your food and it's a restaurant that offers up a little coloring book with a couple of crayons for kids. Side note, we do not allow the kids to take any toys or entertainment into a restaurant. If the restaurant provides a coloring page and crayons, great. If not, we don't bring that in. So if nothing is available for them to do, that is a great time to review or practice things that they're learning. And in this one, Olivia actually started singing the French alphabet all on her own, spontaneously, and she did it twice. It was pretty adorable.
So starting on the side, we have Oreo dusted marshmallows, Rice Krispie treats, Belgian waffles, pineapples, bananas, strawberries, pound cake, blondies, brownies, and more Rice Krispie treats.
Hold on. Tip number 8, lots of reminders to be patient. Waiting is hard, especially when you're young, especially when you're hungry, but it's important for kids to understand that there is an appropriate time to ask questions and an appropriate time not to interrupt people. And that just takes lots of reminders. Okay, ready?
There it is.
Wow.
That is amazing.
Alright. Now, would you guys like your graham crackers mixed in the chocolate or on the side?
On the side.
Side, sure. There they are. And you guys are good to start digging in once this starts once that fire's out. Now that it just lit it on fire, it's going to be pretty hot. So.
Marshmallow.
Okay.
It's s'mores.
Everyone has extra marshmallow s'mores.
Here you go. Now get your fork. Tip number 9, be consistent, you guys. Be consistent. As you can see here, I'm reminding Olivia again to switch utensils from the stabber to the fork.
Is it good, Olivia?
It's very good.
Jesse also needed a reminder that other people are waiting to dip their food in the pot and he couldn't just take a really long time. It takes time and lots of reminders, but with consistency, you can get there. So good.
Which is better, the cheese or that?
Both.
Both?
You can't choose. Right, Olivia?
Oh, that's good.
They loved it, actually.
Yeah, I think they're very
They
impressed
had-
by all the food and
They had just as much fun as we did.
yeah.
Finally, tip number 10. The younger, the better. Don't be afraid to take babies or little toddlers out to eat. Our kids started going out to eat as young infants. I don't remember the youngest we took them out to eat. Obviously with COVID it's a little bit different, but you can still practice these when you're going outside to eat and everything else. But don't worry, even if your kids are older, they can still completely learn these skills. These are things that have to be learned and developed. And if they are older, it just might take a little more time and patience for them to catch on. The key with that is consistency. It needs to be every single time. Don't be afraid to take your kids out to eat. Even if it doesn't go well the first time, you have to keep practicing, keep trying, and be consistent. In the long run, it is 100% worth taking the time to teach your kids these skills. And if a little motivation helps, go for it. We like to remind Jesse that these skills are going to be important for him once he starts dating and takes girls out to eat. They're more likely to be impressed if he understands table manners and makes a good first impression. And that's very motivating for him. I really hope you found these tips helpful, and if there's anything else you can think of that was a really helpful tip for you, please be sure to leave them down in the comments below so we can share them with our community. We have lots of educational videos and family vlogs. We put out a new video every single Tuesday, and if you want to see more of our day-to-day life, we do have an Instagram and a Facebook account, and you can follow us there. They're always linked down below. Don't forget to like this video if you've made it this far, and if you enjoy this content, you can subscribe to our channel. It's completely free. No harm for you. It just helps you too. Please, if you found this helpful, share this with your friends too. I mean, there's no reason to keep this information selfish. Who doesn't want to be able to take their kids out for a 4-course meal, 3 hours long, and everybody enjoy it and have a good time? You can do it too. I believe in you. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Click on this video. Will you please click on this video? Come on, push it. Can you please subscribe? Can you please push that subscribe button? Or for the other video, you're gonna press this button. Go on, click this button, or this button, or this button. Well, mostly this button. I would like it if you did.